in the game, because then you get devours on both sides.
Does need a Tom Kench in the game, which I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna see competitive.
We're the LCK. Tom Kench will never die.
Surely, Atlas. Surely he will not be picked up anymore.
I mean, it's just switching buttons, man. I don't know.
It's like 2-minute cooldown.
Yeah.
Power.
It's on a really long cooldown now anyway. It's okay, Dr. I'm going to take a lot of damage here. His Deft's pretty angry. Does have his Gale Force now online. A little bit of extra mobility there. And yeah, Chovy once again moving towards his Flame Horizon in 23 minutes into this game. As Dudu in a whole lot of trouble. He's going to heartbreak his way out of this one. He's going to go make things a bit misty as he flashes onto his mist on the other side, but I don't think he's going to be able to escape this one. And Harmalife Esports, in the meantime, are just going to take the Baron, as that's 3 people bottom lane, and they have so much vision, as you can see. It's a Cogmore, remember, so does do this Baron pretty comfortably. It's okay. Let's see whether they actually manage to take this down in time. It's not exactly going down all that quickly. Peanut should be able to get over here. Okay, they should be able to burst this one down. But can they actually get out in time is going to be the question. And Chovy is going to be able to backflip his way out. Gory hops on over. I don't know whether you win this one, mate. And he thinks so as well. As Harmalife Esports grab the Baron and get out. It's a beautiful cross-map play.
Works out really, really well. Everyone gets out. You give up a single kill, that's no biggie. And if Kellen didn't use the ultimate there,
yeah,
the Abyssal Void to set up this play, which in which case Dudu wouldn't have died, clearly, but you might have been fine.
But also if they kill Dudu in the initial incident, like Dudu buying so much time here is what's most important, because as you see, Harmalife have already started off the Baron.
It's just a couple of seconds, right? Like it doesn't actually take that long. Really nice cross-map play from Harmalife, the immediate ultimate from Vista. Took himself alive. Chovy, yeah, Gory's like, oh wait, actually no, I don't want to go after that Akali. That is very scary.
Chovy uses the first part of his ult in order to create distance, and then I imagine he's thinking, oh, I could just kill him. But Gory understands that as well. He's going to get out. It's going to be okay. So we're about a full item ahead on Chovy. Gory not having exactly the series of his life.
He has 2 components, so yeah, it's not great.
No. Oh, double stopwatch for Chovy as well. This next fight is going to be pretty difficult. Ooh, almost alcove gaming. As Deft is by himself, wondering where everybody else has gone, as he's just going to take down the inner turret. Chovy does the same thing, and everyone on Nongshim's like, but we can kill Dudu, right? It'll be fine. We can kill Dudu, right, guys?
Right?
No, you can't. You lose everything.
It's gone.
Oh, dear. Okay, but it is, Harmalife Esports with a 9,000 gold lead. Sometimes you got to go for a Hail Mary to try and stop the onslaught. And now Harmalife Esports, they go for a reset. 13 seconds before this Drake is available. And because they managed to secure the last one, even if Nongshim get this, it's only Soul Point, not actually the Soul. As they will get here first, 2 seconds, and I think that Nongshim should just be able to take this.
Yeah, I think so as well.
They do have vision. Peanut sidesteps, so Arthur not able to queue over as they get on in there. In goes Chovy. The perfect execution is going to be very scary, as it is going to be Peanut knocking out another smite, which is definitely very good. Chovy uses one of his stasis. Not going to use the next one, and Nongshim, they just get in, grab the Drake, and get out. I like that. Good defensive play, but they are still very far behind.
Oh, I didn't like those back timers from Harmalife. I thought they were going to double teleport to still maintain tempo on the map, but they all back, like, I think it's 20 seconds, 30 seconds before the Drake. I don't think this is going to matter. I think this is really greedy, like going in like this. Peanut with an immediate ultimate to make sure that they can't just walk at them. And if that second shuriken hits, I think that Callan might be in trouble. Not Callan, but his backline might be in trouble.
Yeah.
But this does feel like the type of play where, like, if it's one of the 100 lines where you do win, you go back to that moment and you're like, that was it. That was where it started, right? And I don't think it's going to be relevant.
Whoa!
Chovy!
It's one flash. What's better, 4 people or 1 flash?
Wow, it's just an
3.
Abyssal Voyage, right? I think it's actually...
Yeah, that's a good trade for Nongshim, to be honest.
Nongshim up.
Kellen has been utilizing the Abyssal Voyage very effectively. I've been enjoying it. His death is on a ward, but no one's going to be able to stop him from taking this Krug.
Yeah, I think
Sorry, the Grump.
Carrier still feels like the strongest carry, Kench, but I feel like Callan's cross-map plays as Kench are actually just the best.
It's like, yeah, Carrier's the micro play Kench, and Kellen's the macro play Kench.
Yeah.
And Noah's the new Kench, because his Tom Kench is also very good.
Yeah, you have to throw him in there. We don't quite have a designation for him yet, but I'm sure we'll get one eventually. Actually, you won't, because Tom Kench is getting removed.
Yeah, sorry, Tom Kench.
Maybe that will be what forces the LCK to be proactive. And as I say, I know nothing will. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. How dare you? We've seen plenty of games with no Tom Kench and no action.
And
hey, at least we had first blood before now.
Okay,
that's good. That didn't happen yesterday, almost.
Just that it was a tough series, Atlas. I know. I know.
Me and Wolf, we made the most of it, though. You know, we had a good time.
You had to. Yeah, you were forced to, honestly.
I hope you guys at home enjoyed the Renekton lore that we found time to read out during the broadcast. Good. That sort of summarizes how things went yesterday. As Harmalife Esports with a 10,000 gold lead, feeling real good about how this one's going so far. And Nongshim going to have to contend with this Baron that is going to be spawning in 50 seconds time. Phantom Dancer done for death, 3 items completed. He's got himself a stopwatch. In fact, we have Zhonya's stopwatch for Chovy. There are 5 stopwatches available. It is just Vista who does not have one.
We are getting close to LPL status. Now we just need to alter turn them into actual Zhonyas.
Yeah, we need to actually get the Zhonyas for everyone.
Yeah.
Those Viego AP scalings going to really be utilized effectively there. I like it a lot.
I mean, they built it on the Lethality Varus, okay.
True, true.
And we're joking around, and I think that Harmalife is still in a fine spot. I don't feel like, obviously their comp skills insanely well.
I mean, they got a 10,000 gold lead. I think fine spot is possibly an understatement.
I want to say so, yeah.
Do you really not think this game is over?
No.
Wow.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
If you hadn't noticed, bit of a lack of faith in Harmalife.
That is definitely that's a tell right there, as Rich is likely to die. Chovy going to dive on top of him here as Doctarm gets the Piercing Darkness. There's the Devour as Chovy ults to just close the distance. 5-point strike doing some work here as in they go. Face break is decent as finally they manage to take down the set. And now Gori looking to poke this one forward. 5 versus 4 though. And Deft is still very, very strong. Now they'll move back towards the Baron. Peanut's still alive. And if I'm Harmalife Esports, I'm not taking any 50-50s because Arthur has lost every single one of them so far this season.
Oh, don't do it. Don't go for this.
This is rough. No equalizer, but it will be available pretty quickly.
No flash as well, so I think they're fine.
Potentially. No blast cone, of course. They are going to peel. Dudu gets on in there. Another Devour comes out as Peanut in trouble. Does go golden as the Tom Kench will fall down. Death grabs the double kill, though. Gori has to get out of there. Loved the turn from Harmalife Esports. They've got some real heavy wallets. This will be Baron and most likely the game.
Okay, I believe. I retract my earlier statements.
I understood the fear, but the game state was a little bit too Harmalife-y, you know?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that if Nongshim doesn't move forward here, which they want to do, because they want to make sure that the Baron is not being done, but at the same time, I think you can do a little bit better in terms of how the overall state of the rest of your team is. Because I still think that these fights are closer than they should be. However, this one is not happening. You need your sets to have any sort of chance. And you need an equalizer. You have neither here. Which is why this fight is as one.
Oh my god! What a disaster! Arthur wasn't here, so he can't actually be blamed for that one. It's a 1-for-1 in the end. Support for mid laner. Sorry, support for top laner as Rich once again dies.
I retract my retraction!
So that's Ocean Soul that was just stolen by Gori. Oh no, and is Chovy just dead here? Oh god, okay, that's 1 Zhonya's. Okay, smoke screen's down. He'll be able to backflip his way out, so Chovy will survive. And that's only the Zhonya, so still has double available as... Don't go breaking my heart. You know, that's what I'm sort of thinking right now, because it is a 13,000 gold lead. And yeah, let's have a look at this one more time.
So well done by Gory.
Yeah.
Flashes as well.
I mean, Hammerlife just a little bit greedy there, right? Because they were
have no
going
smite.
for the dragon without smite.
나이스! 버려. 야, 르브라, 야, 아카이 텔 탔다. 우와, 잡았어. 오케이, 너.
That's a very
오케이,
happy
내가 믿음이
Peanut.
부족했다. 미안하다.
By the way, if Hammerlife Esports wins this game, then we go into Peanut's 300th game for Game 3. So that's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. What a weird game we are in right now. Okay.
You get why I was hesitant? Like, I've seen the LCK lose, not even Hammerlife specifically, but
I mean,
they still have
definitely Hammerlife specifically. Like, if there's any team that's capable of losing something like this, it is them at this point in time. But Chovy's trying to say no, as he's just going to backflip back to his Shroud again. Chovy's just too good at Akali, to be honest, guys, as this inhibitor is not long for the world. And yes, we're back to believing, I think, in Hammerlife, moving us to that deciding game. As there's the mini stun of the wall, Doctor, just dead. That's a big one, as we've got another center. This time it's on Hammerlife's side as Gori avoiding the living artillery, but it's a double kill for Dudu, and this is going to be the end of the game. So some shenanigans, a soul being accidentally thrown over to Nongshim, but unfortunately, they can only really use that to heat up their noodles. Alongside, you know, of course, they've got a stone bowl. They heat it up with the Infernal. They've got some water in there, so the noodles are going to be fine. But unfortunately, their Nexus is not. Nongshim going to fall, and game number 3, Peanut's 300th game, is now incoming. We'll see whether Hammerlife Esports are going to be able to make it a sad one for Peanut, or whether it's going to be a good one for Nongshim.
You called it a weird game? I think that's apt. It was a weird game in many ways. We did see the highlight performance from Chovy for the second game in a row. This time on the champion that can actually hard carry games.
Yep.
Whereas the Renaxia made it a little bit more difficult. And
is Peanut just the best smiter, or is Arthur the worst?
No, I think Peanut's just really good at smiting. But also, for like the most pivotal steal there, he wasn't available, right? Like, there was no jungler available for that one play where the soul got given over, which is, yeah, it's not great, but it doesn't matter. As you pointed out, the wallet's too thick, Chovy too fed.
Yeah.
But it's still a game where I think as Hammerlife, you identify, okay, we got the win, we played it well, but we still need to be very mindful of what can we do better. And I think that's also, you see the players, like, they know the war isn't won yet.
No, of course not. Also, I mean, we have to look at the caliber of champions that they're able to pick up as well. I mean, on this patch, Lee, Akali, Viego, pretty strong. So certainly getting a lot of power in the draft, but then also being able to translate it effectively. The counter pick, in air quotes, of the LeBlanc was forgettable. It's probably the best way to say it, as Def did a heck of a lot of damage. But he was free to. He was allowed to, because the rest of the map did much better this time around. Shout out to Rich, actually. Did a lot of work on his set, despite the fact that he died, like, what was it, 6 times in the end?
I'm keep.
Look at this gold graph, Chronicler. That's basically linear. We like that. If you're a Hammerlife Esports fan, that's the kind of gold graph you want to see. You know? This was, we kept winning a bit more and more, and then the game was over. But that's not how it felt in the game whatsoever.
That's the kicker. But as you pointed out, while I do think that Nongshim showed how scary they are as a team and the moments of life that they consistently had, that was really what Hammerlife needed. It was a game that it took them a while. There were some scary moments, but as a whole, they were firmly in control, and that is going to feel good going into this one. Because let's not forget, Hammerlife are 2-5. They need this.
Absolutely.
Next win.
We'll see whether they can make it 3-5 with a win after this short break.
탑에서 다이브 어때?
세트 노공이야.
탑에서 다이브 어때?
해도 돼. 세트 노공이야. 럼블 세트 루블랑
가볼게.
럼블. 야 이거 봐줘라. 세다. 가갖고 세나. 나 안 죽어. 세트 좀. 세트. 이거 타워 끝내자. 형만 지켜줘 형만.
내가 줄게. 잠깐 내가 오면 번이 걸어줄게.
나 헬리를 떠있어.
미드라인.
아니 탑으로 가자. 천천히 해. 다음 30초 남았어. 30초.
그냥 내가 르블랑 변이 걸어줄게.
나 소식에 있는 거야. 나 안 봐줘도 돼. 타워부터 쳐 우리. 타워부터. 나 안 봐줘도 돼. 끝냈다.
야 죽이자.
나이스. 다음 판 잘해보자.
바다 형 뺏겼네 미안.
아 근데 이거 내 유물 너무 했거든.
Going till there ain't nothing, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Going till there ain't nothing, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Going till there ain't
Welcome back, guys, to the LCK Analyst Desk. And Hana Life got the dub in Game 2 over 농심. Hana Life decided to play Akali, a champion that actually had a pretty low win rate here in the LCK, and LeBlanc was the counter pick chosen by 농심. LeBlanc is a classic counter into Akali, especially during the laning phase. But Chovy, he kind of erased those moments in this game. Later on, he was able to have a sole control over the map, and the way he executed and allocated his skills in team fights, it was so awesome. But it also kind of sends us a very meaningful message, because unless you can play this champion, pilot this champion to this level, I don't think this champion would be pretty viable in the current meta. Hana Life had some great draft. They had stronger laning champions, and also they were able to have a dominance in the team fight as well. It was a very impressive bans, actually. Soraka and also Yumi, something that is not that common here in the current patch. Kog'Maw Lulu, well, was not the main carry in this game, to be honest. But those are also very well proven duo. But looking at the draft in general, Senna Tompkins was not able to outlane the opponent bottom duo. And Hana Life Esports was able to play out comp really well, because looking at the top lane, 농심 was able to have a decent pick for the top lane. However, they were not able to dominate the lane. And looking at the mid lane, well, even though Chovy had the losing side matchup, he still was able to come back stronger and exerted more dominance in team fight stage. And looking at 농심's comp, we don't really see any hyper carry in general. So here's the first replay where Peanut's Rumble died early on in this game. Because Dudu had a very strong lane priority, he made a rotation into the enemy jungle, and Hana Life had this information, and also 농심 was also aware of the fact that they are invading their jungle. So Peanut also made a rotation over to that red camp, and also Senna and Tompkins were also making a rotation over to the left-hand side of the map. However, Rumble goes in too early and gets popped immediately. And because the jungler died, the rotation from Senna Kens becomes meaningless, and also it means that it's a free herald for Hana Life as well. And also Lulu is a very strong champion when it comes to those kind of early skirmish, you know, all the skill set she has exert so much power in the low level stage in the game. And Senna Tompkins were also invested to participate in that fight, but fight actually broke out before they got there, and which means they were actually naturally losing the lane priority, because they were wasting a bit of a time making some rotation to the upper side of the map, and they returned back without picking up any points. And here's the second replay where Hana Life Esports played this team fight way better. And Chovy had this confidence, as we heard from the player comp. He was sure that as long as he can zone out that LeBlanc, he knew that it's a winning team fight for Hana Life. So Akali uses LeBlanc to find a way to get on top of the enemy, and not only that, Seth got kicked by Lee Sin and placed in a very awkward position, and some funny interaction from the Viego turning into Tompkins saving that Akali was also pretty interesting. When it comes down to a team fight stage, Chovy, when he gets to play that Akali, a champion that can, you know, stir up the enemy, he can become more proactive. And he was the one making most of the calls for the team fight. Looking at the team fight stage, Lee Sin was so effective, you know, denying some of the entrance of 농심 Rat Force. So Lee Sin versus Seth, their mind game was also super vital to the victory of this game. 농심 did try to make some counterplay throughout the game, but it was Hana Life Esports staying strong and securing the win. And Chovy will pick up the POG as we all expected. And Chovy has proved that if you get to play Akali, you have to put up this much of a show, or it's gonna be so hard to win with this champion. This Akali was not about, getting kills early and outplaying the opponents. It was more like staying well and strong during the laning phase against a champion that can be a counter pick for her and exerting pressure based on the farming power she had. Other than that, I think most of the Hanwha esports players were doing a fantastic job in this game. They were working as a well-oiled machine, and perfect votes secured by our POG Chovy for game number 2. It's game 3 of Hanwha Life Esports and Nongshim and game number 300 of Peanut as an individual player as well. So congratulations on that, and let's see if we can celebrate that one with a victory. Back to our casters.
Thank you so much, Ji-san, as usual, for the analyst desk translation. And yeah, here we are for Peanut's 300th game. I feel like whenever Peanut has a milestone, often it's a bit sad for him, so maybe that doesn't bode well for Nongshim moving into this game. However, now side selection goes over to Nongshim. They're able to choose the blue side, which is exactly what they have done. And let's just see how the draft turns out on the other side of things, because it was twice in a row Hanwha Life Esports with the blue side, as Chovy fans in the audience obviously are just very excited about this one. As you can see, the Chovy call right there.
Not even the media will deny Chovy his
when Chovy plays like that, everyone gets on the same page. And it's 400 games, not 300. That was actually a typo. It was written down as 300, and I was like, that it doesn't seem like the right amount of games, but it's 400, in fact, so that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I was about to comment, like, that doesn't
yeah, right?
feel like a lot, because Peanut has been around for a long time.
He has. Did spend a year over in China, of course.
Even then, right?
Yeah. So slightly off, but thankfully we sorted it out, and we've got fans in the audience that know the correct amount of, of games that he's played, as Deft has played more, as it turns out. Was, I believe, on that list ahead of Peanut.
Oh yeah, very far. As even he with his year off, which I know you have very strong feelings about.
Yes, I do. Deft, of course, playing for Samsung Blue before he even left to go over to China as well. So, yeah, he's just played a lot of games of League of Legends professionally, has good old Deft.
He's been looking really good.
Yeah.
I think that Sivir game was not the best, but like I said, I think he made 1 or 2 mistakes in that, and the rest was him just being Sivir
in that game.
into that enemy team. Not a lot to be done, and I do think that while it wasn't a straight-up draft diff that made that game go the way it did, I actually think Hanwha Life played very well. Was a way better game coming through from DOGE. As you already pointed out, there were a little bit too many power picks being given out.
There was a lot of strength. So now Hanwha Life Esports will be able to still pick up 2 pretty strong ones, but we'll see how Nongshim utilizes first pick in order to get themselves some extra power. Because I'm a little bit frightened of the Rumble first pick. I don't know whether it's necessarily as powerful as something else.
I think it will be Lee first pick.
I think Lee first pick does make sense.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
That's definitely saying Lee first pick even more.
It is.
As Viego, of course, does lane quite effectively into good old Lee Sin.
You know what this is looking like? It's gonna be the Lee pickup.
Yeah.
And then Hanwha Life picks Diana Rumble at Diana set, and then the Nongshim Renekton locking comes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that seems that's a good band though. That's a band that we want to see. Chovy, of course, not impressed, as he generally isn't.
Just doesn't react to it at all. He is surpassed human emotion, as it turns out.
Only game.
Indeed.
No emotion for Chovy. Lee first pick, surely coming through here, and then the real question is what the pivot from Hanwha Life is going to be.
Nocturne is available. Nocturne,
it's true.
Like Nocturne set could come in, Nocturne Diana could come in, Nocturne Rumble could come in.
Yeah.
I think Nocturne Rumble is pretty likely. I mean, that's just like guaranteed kills post 6 in a lot of situations.
But then you give over set Diana, right?
You do.
That's kind of the problem at the moment with how many broken picks there are. I feel like last game it was very much tilted towards Nongshim, or towards Humble Life rather, but I feel like
I think also at the moment,
Bit harder.
Lee Sin Rumble together are like 6-1. It took its first loss in game number 1 actually, so that's still a really powerful combo. So there's just a lot of really strong picks still available. I think the Nocturne has to be picked up here, and Instalock on the Rumble like we were talking about, and then that set Diana like you were talking about could come through. So it's just a lot of power. We'll see whether Humble Life Esports do decide to finally put a little bit of priority towards that bottom side. As of course, Deft's Ezreal still available, potentially.
I wouldn't mind an Azrael pick away, actually. I think Azrael is pretty nice.
Ooh, speaking of Ezreal.
Yes, please. Quite like that. Pick up the set. Although you can go for the Diana as well. I think the Diana is a little bit safer because you might want to look into some more balanced spreads of damage. However, you do have a lead that is flexible into free plays on the top side, and you give very little information about your composition thus far. So I actually like this from Nongshim because Humble Life on the next 2 picks is going to really decide what kind of composition they're drafting, right? Like they're gonna have to kind of opt in. You can keep some information hidden, but I think they'll pick up a mid lane here. Although the Nocturne could be mid and it could be a top laner, but another solo laner here is my expectation. That will be one.
That's a Rumble. Sorry, that's a Renekton. And it's just going to be locked away. So, okay, that's fine. Now, at least they don't need to ban Set necessarily. Just because, as Chovy has demonstrated, he's pretty comfortable on the Renekton into Set. Deft being pretty vocal right now during the ban phase as it does start off. And we're going to be focusing on solo lanes here, most likely. I think Diana could be a good couple of bans to come through here for Humble Life. I think the Diana ban is just too good to pass up, personally.
No, you pick the Diana and then you pick up the Senna last, and then you go for Renekton.
Where do you put Diana?
In the jungle. And then you go Rumble mid, and you go
Rumble.
You go Rumble Senna bot lane. Of course, come on.
Yes. That sounds like a good way to lose the draft.
Hey. I'm just running with your idea from game number 1, okay? Don't pin this on me. Don't you dare.
I'm not pinning it on you.
Yeah,
You literally just said it.
Yeah, but it was your idea. I'm just throwing your idea back at you because I didn't really have the time to respond back then, and now you know how I felt when you came up with it. LeBlanc Bender, I think that Gory didn't have the most impressive game, but
I don't know how you don't ban Diana.
Yeah, no, I would have preferred it as well. Because I think that Nongshim can now just... Oh, that's a good ban. That's a very nice ban. I like that. Because now there is... Maybe you can go for like... If you want to go for a scaling bot lane, you could go for something like the Soraka, but a lot of good picks are taken away. The Yuumi, as we saw in game number 1, I don't think the great...
Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
He's, this is Deft. Just going to teach those youngins how the Ziggs is to be played. Although Dr. played extraordinarily well, so I don't know whether he necessarily needs the lessons. But this is fun. It is going to be that Lee Sin Gwen combo potentially, which would put the Lee Sin in the hands of Peanut, and also allows Gory to go for more of that mage style pickup in the mid lane. See what Gory is going to employ for himself right now.
Still a lot of ways that you can go with this draft, because this leans towards us also picking up a mid laner. Maybe they want to go for something really classic like an Orianna, but playing that into the Renekton can be a bit iffy. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, okay. The Emperor of Shurima.
I think it's really good into Renekton Nocturne. Obviously, the spell shield from Nocturne can be very clutch, but generally into like those 3 champions, I think the Azir is really solid. But as a whole, it does make the composition feel a little bit disjointed. I'd personally say, as well, you're playing into Ezreal and Leona, you don't expect necessarily the greatest of lane pressures, but counterpicking yourself never feels great.
Yeah, it's probably not what I would have chosen as option 1, but it's fine. You can basically just rely on Deft to take care of the lane by himself, and Vista will be roaming around majority of the time, and is going to be able to assist Chovy with those diving maneuvers utilizing the exceptional amount of mobility that Rakan does have. So you can understand why it's being picked up here. Also, you can hold people in equalizers quite well with the Grand Entrance, and especially with the quickness. Like that. Also pairs very well with Mega Inferno Bomb. So Mega Inferno Bomb plus the good old equalizer is a lot of very long range big damages, which is cool. How you feeling about it? Who do you reckon wins out on this draft?
It's a hard one. That's why I was really deep in thought. Because I find it hard. I think I would give an edge to Hanwha Life, but I simultaneously think that if you get to a late game scenario, the combination of Ezreal and Azir is
And
just...
Gwen.
Yeah, but Gwen in a different way. Like, Gwen is really strong in the 1v1, right? And like, a team-finding presence is okay, but it's more about how well does the poke of Ezreal and Azir stack up against what Hanwha Life have. And I think that Hanwha Life, later in the game, are going to have a hard time actually playing into the composition that Nongshim have provided. But I think that early game is way stronger, right? Between the Nocturne, the Renekton, you can snowball the top side and the objectives so hard with this Hanwha Life composition. So if we go to the mid to late game on even footing, because I do think the top side is very favored towards Rich. I don't think the Renekton is a good matchup into the Gwen at all. And I actually think that is going to be a painful matchup. Based on what I've seen of it recently.
Which makes you feel very bad for picking Renekton in general, but we often feel bad about that anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's ostentatious Rumble again. Dr. Robotnik Rumble. Just not
Where is my
psyched about
Pina Colada?
Exactly.
We've had a lot of Ocean Souls, you know, we can dance in the rain.
Yeah.
It's great. Why wouldn't you opt into that?
I mean, Peanut could have had one if he was playing Pool Party Lee Sin as well.
Double Pool Party Leona?
Yeah, we've been let down in multiple different areas. As Dudu's Renekton skin looks really cool, so I guess there's that. There's the small victories. There's Chovy, not spooky, but this is a cool skin as well. That's fine. Let's see how he does in this lane against Gori.
I have a personal preference for the medieval Nocturne one.
Medieval one?
Yeah, it's like old-timey Plague Doctrine medic.
Oh, yeah.
I like the hood.
Yep.
That one I think is very cool. As neither laner picks up NECS yet. Chovy gonna use the Umbra Blades to get that one easily. But of course, early on this is ranged into melee, so expect Gori to have control of the matchup.
Okay, we've got more fighting here towards the bottom side as well, as Doctorm taking down a half health prior to this. As Deft looking for some bouncing bombs onto the Ezreal here in the early stages. And Rich and Dudu just battling one another. You can see the Gwen having a great time like you were predicting earlier. Does make it to level 2 first. But Dudu should be able to just pick up most of this farm as the wave crashes forward. One melee creep will be taken out. No harm, no foul. Should be okay. As we've got a pretty early action here. As we're checking out the Renekton stats again. Pretty sad as there's the flash to be gathered. But it's trade. As, okay, the Ignite goes down onto Dudu. Rich, oh, he had the snippety snip stacked up, but I don't think it was off cooldown just yet. As he goes to Xenoblade one more time. Good satchel charge there from Def to deny Doctorm any follow-up. As, okay, here comes Arthur. They're looking to try and grab Rich, but good vision available. And they're not going to be able to get it. So, teleport down now, but no Ignite for Rich for the next little while, so maybe Dudu's going to be feeling a little bit better.
A lot of action. Weak back coming through for Dudu though, only able to pick up the refillable pot. Oh, Chovy did go for the aggressive flash. Maybe Peanut looking for a punish here.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to risk it. Wants to make use of the farming time that is available. And yeah, that satchel charge was really big. And the early survivability, especially when Ezreal doesn't really have any reliable damage yet, into a Rakan with Guardian and the bone plating and Deft still having a Summoners isn't the greatest. So gonna take a bit, maybe with a Sheen, you know, hitting some missing shots back to back, you might be fine, but this early on, not really going to happen. Yeah. And I would love to see Hanwha Life make use of the priority that they are expected to have in the mid lane in particular to get that pressure of Chovy around the rest of the map. Him and Arthur together are terrifying, and any early objective fight should be really hard for Nongshim to execute on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 2 spells away from Doctorm just being dead in this lane right now.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the greatest. He's going to go for that back. As Life Esports might be able to just shove this wave on in, grab themselves a little bit of a recall as well. The Sheen pickup does come down for Dr. so when he comes back, he's going to be feeling all right. But Deft has teleport as well. Boy, okay, looking for a bit of a dive here onto Rich. Dudu with a level advantage as well. This minion wave hasn't been picked up just yet. A lot of teleports to come in as Dudu flashes out of the way. They do manage to lock down the kills. As now, after the teleports, now Gory, oh, they just wait. Oh no, it feels so bad as Chovy even survives. Oh no. Another teleport. But with Chovy at half an HP, they're probably not going to stick around, but Rich will be able to at least pick up a bunch of this CS.
And I really wonder what happened for the lane state to be that bad. Obviously, the teleport on the level 4, it feels really bad. It's understandable that you want to go for that, but really you shouldn't, right? Like, you don't have the early game power to really get anything done there. You're not a champion that this early provides anything. You don't even have your ultimate available, so there's just no way that that ever works out. But I want to know, because Rich had early control of that lane, right? How did that wave get stacked up so high? Because it was like 3 waves, right? And it was a really, really well executed dive there by Hanwha. Like, very happy to see them, because that's what I said. I want to see Chovy use his presence around the rest of the map, use that prior. Well, he didn't even need his ultimate to do that. Yeah. And I want to know what led to this, right? And I think if Rich might have just gotten greedy, and not use his teleport, try to hold on to that, and because of that, Dudu was able to stack a really big wave. And you see some of the sustain come through, but if you have Ignite, maybe you get a kill here, somehow, trade kill.
Yeah. As we got another fight here towards the top side as Rich is in trouble, and Dudu's just going to grab the solo kill. Oh no. Level 5 to level 6. I don't know why Rich was going for that one.
Now it's just back-to-back mistakes and really good punishes coming through for Humble Life again, and really strong early game lead. And oh no,
it's a plate party up here towards the top side. Humble Life Esports. I mean, this is largely about Nongshim making some errors, especially in their management prior to any of these micro situations, right? It's not even really about how they play out said dive or said situation. It's about the preparation that was put in by Humble Life in order to make these things happen. But it's pretty unforgivable, honestly, for Nongshim to let that sort of setup happen and do nothing about it.
And there's no punish available either. That's the real problem, because we're still early in the game. Peanut can't really single-handedly go for it. He's level 4. You know this level up is coming as Gory.
We're going to have to hold that thought, is getting a little bit scared there as Arthur goes through and baits out an ultimate, I guess, with his flash. Probably wouldn't really look for that trade personally, as Gory didn't have his flash available. Chovy just going to be able to get this shove, and unfortunately, no joy there on the gank.
Looks a bit weird from Gory, but I don't think using the ultimate there is the biggest issue. I don't think you want to go for the contest here.
I think it looked a little bit more weird from Arthur flashing in.
Yeah, there's no way that you ever get that.
Yeah.
Well, Peanut sneaking in. I like this. Maybe they can bait something out. Big wave is going to go into the turret here, but Deft will be there to pick it up.
Oh, that's a huge flash forward. Vista's going to be here. Battle Dancer's on top. Huge value from the grand entrance as Kellen's definitely dead. Deft surviving for so long. Mega Inferno Bomb gets rid of the minion wave as now tries to hold the wave away so that they couldn't get underneath as Deft. Now the fancy footwork has to come in. Peanut will survive as Chovy will turn up. Paranoia not available. He's going to eat one of those as it's actually Peanut's Q that's eaten by the spell shield. Not exactly the optimal situation as Chovy grabs that kill. Grand entrance is fantastic, but no follow-up. Still, it's going to be Humble Life Esports winning out on the trade.
Humble Life just playing this early game so well, and after game number 1 where Humble Life was able to trade evenly in the early game, now they are just out-trading Nongshim everywhere on the map continuously, and that's a greedy dive to go for, right? All the summoners available. I think that was a bit of desperation from Nongshim there. And on the top side, meanwhile, waves are being proxied. Could have been way worse. Yeah, as you pointed out, Arthur, you're also overheated. Yeah. He hasn't used his ult.
There are a lot of reasons why that was suboptimal choice to be made. Yeah.
And this is just not that cleanly executed. If you wait a split second, as Kellen there, Peanut can actually connect immediately, because the reason why this goes so horribly is because they have to wait really, really long for this to actually work out, right? And if Peanut can just get a Q on to the Ziggs, then It's a lot cleaner. Instead, Chovy picks up a return kill. It's a 1-for-2 trade, not one that you ever want to take, really, especially because on the top side, as I pointed out, Dudu is just proxying waves for free against Rich. Now,
Yeah.
Gwen is a champion. So I'm sure on her next
She
back,
is indeed.
on her next back, she'll still win the 1v1 against Renekton, because that's just kind of how it goes. But
Maybe not with this level of disadvantage behind a level at the moment.
I never. I've learned. Okay, Atlas. I've seen Gwen's 0-3 down,
True.
down an item, and then still. But she does need a Rift Maker.
Yeah.
Or at the very least an initial item if she wants to have a chance at
Right now
ready.
has a small sword, a ring, and a red rock. So not really at Riftmaker territory just yet.
No. Don't die.
Deft is in trouble, but certainly able to clear out these minion waves and just wanders away. No true shot barrage, as we know. So we'll be able to get the back off here. Kellen was wrapping around, but not quite able to find too much, as it's just going from bad to worse. Dudu's just so strong on this Renekton. And we know that, like, I'm really glad that Dudu's able to do this, because it's demonstrating what Renekton is capable of. As, oh no, Rich stuck around. Peanut is going to turn up as Dudu flashes away. Can't really tank the turret too much longer, and that is just going to be an overextension.
Oh, that was so good. God, that was good, because Penis was waiting there for, he doesn't know.
Yeah, okay, here goes Arthur. Kick out immediately. As Arthur, he had the Rift Herald. He was coming up to try and prepare this one for Dudu. Thankfully, there is a teleport, and it's only half the cooldown of the Rift Herald as well, so likely that it still does turn up there. Unless we decide we want to throw it down in the mid lane and give Chovy a little bit more. As Chovy is bearing the brunt of Nocturne versus Azir, is currently behind his farm, which is a very un-Chovy thing to happen. As, okay, in comes Arthur. Now looking for an opportunity. Flash available from Gory, and he shifts some sands. It's going to be A-OK. Dudu teleported back towards the top side. And let's see whether he can just take this turret. Yeah, you don't even need the Rift Herald, because this Renekton has already taken 3 plates. Oh my goodness. So they did manage to get the kill. Shutdown gold goes over to Peanut, which is not exactly the ideal situation. You probably want it on Rich. 2-level advantage. 3 levels up onto Peanut. As now, maybe without the tower, still going to be a rough time, as Dudu goes in for a pretty good trade, you could say.
Again, Peanut's like, I really want to help my top lane.
Yeah.
I really, because it's a Gwen, and I really want him to be relevant. And yeah, I love it from Arthur. I think that it's really easy for you to get his bot side turret, and Kellen alone, you can't really do a lot about it. You
Yeah.
need help.
I really like this for getting it down here. We were talking about this before, the Satchel Charge.
Yeah.
Certainly means that Shelly gets all of the value you could ever want. 12 minutes into this game. And looks like Harmalife Esports are even going to prioritize a dragon. My goodness, what has happened to this team? They've turned it all around. 3,000 gold the lead, largely because of the Crocodile being so dominant in the early stage. And they've started off the Drake, but it's not going to be given away for free, as in goes the Lee Sin. But Def just gets himself over the wall with his flash. Now Nongshim, they have control of this Drake area. Teleport to be utilized from Gory towards the top lane, and Chovy is just taking a plate here in mid. They will give away the Drake though. So not exactly the greatest from Harmalife Esports, but they do take things elsewhere.
We see Nongshim yet again. I think they are probably the team that prioritizes Drakes the most, and I love this bait because Pina has been waiting here for like 20 seconds because he knows that Dudu is going to be looking for it.
Yeah,
Dominus
right.
is available. Honestly, as Dudu, you probably still try to just go for it, but I think Rich had 5 needles stacked up, so like it looked, maybe you kill him, but there's also the chance that he just uses R on you. And then Rich gets the kill, which is way worse. Here's Rich.
Yeah, not going to be able to dash his way out of this one, as, yep, that red carpet, not the one that you want. Doesn't even have an Oblivion Orb yet, but still not able to needlework your way out of that one. Harmalife Esports lock down Rich one more time, 0-3. Whoa, Rich not really having the greatest of series. Did have a good game 1.
Yeah.
Hasn't been able to get back to that.
Downturn,
Yes.
unfortunately. Hard game for Nongshim, as giving up these random kills is really what is going to put Hanwha Life, oh, that's sad, in such a more comfortable position, and something that should be avoidable. And this is something that Nongshim was able to avoid in some of the previous series, right?
Yeah.
And it's a bit unfortunate to see a return to form in that regard for Rich. On the other hand, Hanwha Life, they're more proactive. They're setting up, sure, you know, like mistakes like Dudu going a little bit greedy there without knowing where the enemy jungler is are unfortunate. They're not the end of the world, and the rest of the team is making proactive plays, not just Chovy. And that's a way better look than we've seen in recent times from Hanwha Life. So this is looking a lot like game number 1. And that time it was Nongshim that was able to get the lead. This time I feel like the lead from Hanwha Life at this point, 4K, 40 minutes in, that's huge.
It's a big one. They do have Azir Ezreal, so, you know, the late game is something I guess we can talk about, but this Ezreal might just be dead here as Chovy does still have the ultimate available, remember. He gets stunned up as there he goes. In to look for this kill. Oh, gonna get very, very close, but now Callan has to flash in order to try and get out. The fear is going to tether. Duskbringer comes in. I don't know why you'd break your stopwatch for that. That's actually gonna, yeah, bit of a disaster.
I was gonna go Zhonya's, clearly.
Ah, yes, there we go. Not going to have that one for a while. If he indeed does, as Peanut now in trouble. Mega Inferno Bomb not doing too much as Dudu is just, he's having the greatest time ever on this Renekton. It's been a while since we've seen a Renekton this happy. Is now Def, looking to see whether he can get something done, but now he's going to get thrown underneath the turret. Now, yeah, it's just no real place to go. Looks a little bit silly at the end of that one, but the rest of Hanwha Life Esports going to keep trying to press forward.
And sure, that ends well for Nongshim rather, but you've given up like 2K more gold for no reason, and it's just it's just continuously like.
Rich is down 60 CS, Chronicler. It's
Chovy gets a play on bot side, then immediately teleports towards top side, uses.
Yeah. It's still a weird game. It's a hard one to really process, isn't it? Because we have a 7,000 gold lead.
Yeah, this
for Hanwha
one,
Life Esports.
this one should be
넘어갈까? 예,
not
둘밖에 없는데.
playable
Yeah.
at this point on.
But also there's like Def
shadow,
making
brother.
really
That
odd
goes
decisions and things like that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but I think the chaos that
나
this
공 있어.
kind of permeates this
보자,
series is still a better look for the LCK.
Oh, absolutely. I think so too.
As yeah, there we
Doing
go.
stuff is good.
Very nice use. Just
Okay,
going for the
okay.
safety flash there, right? Don't want to get Mystic shotted into death.
Yep.
Also
형이
the
뭔데?
nice use of the
형이
Gore Drinker. Yeah, this is, as you pointed out,
나이스.
not sure why you go for the stopwatch. And then he backs, and then will immediately teleport into this top. Does he even back? Might just teleport straight up here. There we go. Yeah, just a straight up teleport, and you don't have items on Rich. You've already lost your Lee Sin. You don't want to go for this. Right? It's just, and Deft also doesn't want to go for that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest question mark. If you don't have flash even if you do have flash available, like it will be flash for flash. Doesn't feel great, but if you do not have that, you can't go for that. However, I am starting to put some serious question marks regarding Nongshim's early game decision to go for every single skirmish with a composition that doesn't need to. You have a Azir and an Ezreal, and it's not good to just wait, but if you're this far behind, then hanging back a little bit is fine.
Yeah, we'll see whether they're going to continue to do that or whether it's going to be more proactive play. Like the proactive players, Shirley's going to just take down this tower very comfortably. 4 seconds on this Ocean Drake, and hopefully Hanwha Life Esports can actually pick that one up. As now, if Dudu rotates into the jungle and finds 3 people, he probably kills them all. And so it's not going to be the same as game number 1, as Arthur will start this one up.
God, he has 2 items 18 minutes in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a powerful crocodile. It's a very powerful.
Okay, Nongshim. Fortunately, you have a game plan. Tried and true. The LCK special. Just wait for 25 minutes, see what happens. That's always there.
Let's flip it, boys.
You know, let's just go back to the classics and what works for us. But Hanwha Life with this lead should never let it happen, right? Because Hanwha Life with a gold lead this big, as we see, they should win basically any skirmish, provided it is an actual 5v5. There is no combination such as, you know, the Rumble ultimate is set. Like, these Nongshim picks are strong, especially on the top side, but when they are so far behind in terms of items, it's going to take a really long time to be even remotely relevant. And they're very far off the point. They're going to need 2 free items. Yeah, that is... I mean, he doesn't go for it because he has no vision. so it's good. But he could go for it and probably like 1v2, 1v3.
Yeah, I think I don't think Rich is playing Gwen this game. He's playing Gwe. He's just half a Gwen. I'm gonna give him half a Gwen at this point.
Would you just go with N?
I mean, you can go with N. I was gonna go with the first half. I like it because it's 2 consonants, so it's very difficult to say together. Gwe. Yeah, that's I'm locking it in. Locking it in. Committed to the Gwe.
Well,
What does the collective think? Does the collective think it's Gwe?
well, Gwe still doesn't have a second item and is not anywhere near. Has just now finished the Rift Maker, so he's not going to be able to deal with this crocodile.
Yeah.
Like I said, I said joking 25 minutes, but that's actually the timing I'm looking at. By that point, Humble Life will have a Cloud Soul. They will probably get the inner ring of turrets as well. They'll pick up every single Baron, every single jungle camp, and just choke out Nongshim, and they can also just go for dives, because I think that the lead at this point is big enough that you do actually get away with those.
Yeah.
However, you know, we've seen teams in any region throw away leads big enough, so I guess it's
7,000 gold leads at 20 minutes. That's a big old throw.
What was the gold lead that G2 had last night? Like 10K?
Yeah, I don't know. I was sleeping.
Well, yeah,
Thankfully,
but
I didn't
yeah,
have to
that's
witness
good.
that one. As Peanuts down here, let's see whether Dudu 1v2s this. Doesn't have Executioner's Calling, so there's a possibility that Rich is able to actually, alongside Peanut, take him down, but or maybe not. It's a 2-level advantage. Okay, let's see whether they can do it. The kickback. Okay, Ragdoll Crocodile is now. Maybe we're just going to go for it. Paranoia comes on in. Dudu's going to flash away. Turns the lights off as well as Chovy now looking to try and keep him alive. Oh, he almost had that Q in range of someone, but it is going to be a 1-for-1. Gory's just well and truly dead. Death picks up the double. Peanut, yeah, walking away from these bouncing bombs, and Humble Life Esports not going to overextend. So in the end, it is a 2-for-1, but on Nongshim's side, they did do what they set out to do, which was kill the crocodile. Nice one.
Might get more.
Oh yeah, potentially. As Death going to stop the back. Bouncing bomb comes in. Hextech Minefield in position. And yeah, True Shot Barrage does a bit of damage there to Deft, but otherwise nothing doing.
Playing into Ziggs.
It's a tough life, isn't it? Oh, he's backing on a wood. Oh no, Solar Flare comes in. Yep. Yeah, that's going to be delivered over to Docdam as well.
And that's actually a really big shutdown. Okay, Humble Life, I know I said, you know, this is a great situation. Tidy it up a little bit.
I'm going to say the boat's rocking just a little bit. However, it is a long way further ahead of Nong.
It is still a very nice yacht that they're sitting on.
It is, indeed.
And the Crocodile gets dispatched. Takes a little while. Really nice stalling here. It's like the combination of Dudu using his sweeper to deny vision, combined with Chovy's Paranoia, that makes his play go on for as long as it does. I think also surprising amount of damage coming through there from